Hi everyone, Vincenzo here with a new episode of Ukerocks, a series of ukulele tutorials on some of the best rock riffs of all time. So if, like me, you want to rock out on the ukulele, you can't miss this one. For the first few episodes, you learn some pretty fast and aggressive riffs, but today you will work on something a little bit different. In fact, you will learn how to play a simple free ukulele arrangement of Sunday Bloody Sunday by U2, which of course includes the main riff of the song. You will learn how to play 3 different parts which you can then put together by yourself or with your friends. Anyway, let's start, but before doing that, let me remind you to subscribe to the channel. I don't like to say these things, but it would really help me if you did, and it doesn't cost you anything. The first ukulele plays the famous arpeggio of this song. So you use this E minor shape, 0, 4, 3, 2, and you play 4, 3, 2, 3. Again, 3, 4. For the right hand, I'm using the thumb for the third string, the index for the second string, and the middle finger for the first string. But if you want, you can just use your thumb and it will still work. You see? You carry on and you have G, 0, 2, 3, 2, and you play 2, 3, 2, 3. One more time, 1, 2. Let's put together E minor and G. 3, 4. And again, 3, 4. And the first measure is completed. You carry on and you have C6, 0, 0, 3, 0. And you play 0, 3, 0, 3, 0, 3, 0, 3, 0. One more time. 3, 4. By the way, this is not a complete C6 chord because you're missing the note of E, but it works. Anyway, pay attention here because the rhythm is slightly different from the one of the first measure. And so again, 3, 4. Now let's put together the first two measures. 3, 4. There you go. In the arrangement, this part is repeated 6 times. The second ukulele plays the strumming pattern. The chords don't change, but I'm going to use different chord shapes. So E minor, 9, 7, 7, 7, G, 7, 7, 7, last string muted, and C6, 5, 7, 5, last string muted. Now let's see how to strum the first measure of the pattern. You have down, up, down, down, up, down with muted strums. Then you move to G and you have up, down, and down, up with muted strums. I know it's a difficult pattern, but let me play it slowly so that you can just copy me. 3, 4. And again, 3, 4. For the muted strums, I'm just resting my left hand on the strings of the ukulele, like this. If you want, you can find the tutorial on muted strums in the description. Anyway, let's play the pattern one more time. 3, 4. By the way, the symbol that looks like an M means downstroke and the one that looks like a V upstroke. For C6, you have a similar pattern. In fact, the first part is almost the same. You have down, up, down, down, up with muted strums, and then down, up, down, up. All together, 3, 4. Notice that here, I lift up my fingers between the first down, up, and the second one. So now let's play the entire pattern. 3, 4. Okay, time to put the two measures together. 3, 4. And again, 3, 4. This is repeated 4 times. Now let me show you a little variation for the C6. This one, 3, 4. So basically, after the first part of the strumming pattern, you play 7, 8, slide to 9, 10, and then back to 7, 8, and then 2 muted strums. All together, 3, 4. You play this every second time you play the C6. One more thing, if this pattern is too tricky, you can also use this one. Down, down, up, down. And it will sound like this. 3, 4. Down, down, up, down, 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 up, down. Simple but effective. Now it's time for the melody, which is probably the easiest part. You have 10, 10, 8, 7, 9, and 7. All together, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now let's see what you have next. This is super easy. You basically repeat the same melody but you end on fret 7 of the 3rd string. So you have 10, 10, 8, 7, 9, and 7 on the 3rd string. Again, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now let's put the melody together. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, time to put the arrangement together. The idea for this arrangement is that the 3 ukuleles don't start at the same time, but they get added gradually, a little bit like you would do with a loop station. So you start with the arpeggio and this part is repeated 6 times. After the arpeggio is played twice, so basically after the second C6 of 4 measures from the start, to be clear, the strumming part starts, and this is repeated for a total of 4 times. The melody starts on measure 9, so after the strumming part is repeated twice. The table you see below is there to help you understand the structure of the arrangement, but I have to say the easiest way to understand how to play it is to listen to my play along. On another note, feel free to rearrange the parts as you wish. Having said that, it's time for a play along. The tempo will be 100 BPM. I will be playing all 3 parts following the structure of the arrangement. So choose a part and get ready, you're about to start playing. The aim of this tutorial was to teach you a simple arrangement of Sunday Bloody Sunday by U2. Learn it, post your video on social media and tag me. I will share your video and I will give you personalized feedback. By the way, if you want, you can also collaborate with me. Record 1 or 2 parts and I'll add the other one. I will do all the editing work, so if you're interested, just get in touch and I'll tell you more. On my Patreon page, you can find the tabs and the backing tracks that you need to practice this. You have 3 backing tracks, one at the original tempo, one slower and another one even slower. And one more thing, don't forget that if you learned something from this video and you would like to say thank you, you can buy me a coffee, link in the description. That's all for now. Let me know in the comments if you managed to learn this arrangement. If you want to take your playing to the next level, have a look at my free course here on YouTube and download my free 8-step roadmap, link in the description, that will tell you the exact process to follow to learn the ukulele. Moreover, check out the other links in the description to learn more about the types of classes that I've got available at the moment. If you're into rock music, subscribe to my channel and follow the hashtag @ukerocks on Instagram. Also, don't forget to check out the first episode of @ukerocks to learn how to play Satisfaction by the Rolling Stones. Having said that, thank you very much for watching and I'll see you next week. Ciao!